Okay, so students, now this is our second part of overhead analysis, and this is your teacher Azka Bhatt, and I teach accounting and business to O levels and A levels. Okay, students. So we already discussed about the allocations and the apportionment. Okay, and we get to know that when we add these both allocations and apportionment, so we will have this figure, and which is called allocated apportioned overheads. So now we have two other steps of absorption costing. The number one is the reapportionment, and the number two is absorption. Okay, so first of all, you should know that what is the meaning of reapportionment. Reapportionment means that all the service cost which we just calculated here, which is basically this allocated apportioned overheads. So what we do, like we have here four amounts related to each and every department. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So these four amounts are called allocated apportioned overheads. Okay, so after that we will do our step number 3, which is reapportionment. So in reapportionment, what we gonna do is we just spread, or you can say charge, or you can say share all the service costs to the production cost centers. Basically यहाँ पे जो भी हमारे पास सर्विस एलोकेटेड अपॉर्शनमेंट ओवरहेड्स आए हैं, इन दोनों को हम बेसिकली क्या करेंगे, दोनों प्रोडक्शन सेंटर्स, दोनों प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट्स P1 एंड P2 में शेयर कर देंगे. बेसिकली दिस इज कॉल्ड रीअपॉर्शनमेंट. एंड व्हाई वी आर डूइंग दिस बिकॉज service department is not producing anything. Production department is producing maybe bags, maybe pens. It like depends which type of factory it is. So basically जो department production कर रहे हैं, production department 1 and production department 2 is producing a lot of products here. So that is why service department is not, you can say, the responsible of cost. So at the end, in reapportionment steps, service department should charge their cost to the production departments. Okay, for example, this is just an example. For example, we have when we calculate allocations amount for each department, when we add allocations amount into the apportionment cost, so we have allocated apportioned overheads. Okay, so let's just give an example. I am giving you an example that if we have 1000 for P1 as allocated apportioned overheads, and 1000 for the P2 allocated apportioned overheads, and 2000 for service 1 department, like department 1, and 2000 for the department 2, service department 2, which is repair and maintenance. Okay, so these four amounts we have as allocated apportioned overheads. Okay, so we are going to do the reapportionment step of absorption costing. For example, if in your exams, examiner says that you should divide 50% of service department apportioned overheads cost and 50% of service 2 department overhead cost divided into both production department equally. यानी कि 2000 जो कि सर्विस 1 की हमारे पास कॉस्ट आई है, एलोकेटेड अपॉर्चुनिटी ओवरहेड्स आए हैं, और 2000 हमारे पास सर्विस 2 यानी कि डिपार्टमेंट 2 में जो हमारे पास 2000 उनके एलोकेटेड अपोर्शन ओवरहेड्स आए हैं, आपने क्या करना है, 50% इसका और 50% ही इसका आपने प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट 1 और प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट 2 के अंदर इंक्लूड कर देना है, शेयर कर देना है. Okay, so if we are going to divide 50% in each department, so it means that 1000 will go to the production department 1 and 1000 will go to the production department 2. So we will have 2000 for each production department, and और आपने इसको 1 by 1 divide करना है. For example, first of all, आप service 1 का जो डिपार्टमेंट है, कैंटीन डिपार्टमेंट, उसके 2000 को एलोकेट करेंगे 50-50% दोनों डिपार्टमेंट्स में. और उसके बाद आप S2 यानी कि रिपेयर एंड मेंटेनेंस डिपार्टमेंट के 2000 को 50-50% शेयर करेंगे बोथ डिपार्टमेंट्स में. ओके, आपका आंसर, योर आंसर शुड बी नील इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट. सो सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड आंसर आपका नील आना चाहिए, एज यू कैन सी. So what we do in reapportionment, we just share our service department cost, service overheads into production department. Okay, so it is not always the case that you maybe would have to share only 50% fixed overheads to the production department. So we have basically three methods of reapportionment. So the first method is direct method, the second one is step down method, and the third one is reciprocal method, or you can say repeated distribution method. Okay, what you're gonna do is in direct method, you can see that in direct methods. अच्छा, एक चीज याद रखनी है, रीअपोर्शनमेंट में हमेशा सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट ही अपनी कॉस्ट चार्ज कर रहे होंगे टू द प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट. ओके, बट एक चीज जो है जो डिफरेंट होगी, हर एक सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट डायरेक्ट मेथड में सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट शेयरिंग 50% or maybe 70% or maybe 40% in assembly or maybe 30% in assembly to the production department. Canteen department 50% assembly यानी कि P1, 50% stitching department यानी कि P2 में शेयर कर रहा होगा. रिपेयर एंड मेंटेनेंस डिपार्टमेंट भी P1 एंड P2 में ही अपने फिक्स ओवरहेड शेयर कर रहे होंगे. Percentage could be changed, like it doesn't mean that it will always the case that 50% you should have to divide 50% in each and every department, production department. Maybe examiner would say 30% to the P1 department. You should share the fixed overheads of service department 1. To the production department 1, only 30% of its fixed overhead cost, or 70% to production department 2, which is stitching. So basically they could say anything, 30%, 70%, 20%, 80%. ठीक है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ डायरेक्ट मेथड में आपने क्या चीज याद रखनी है, सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट, दोनों सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट किसी भी परसेंटेज के साथ दोनों ही प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट को अपनी कॉस्ट शेयर कर रहे होंगे. व्हाई? because cost service department is not responsible for making anything, for producing anything. And basically in absorption costing, which type of things we are doing, we just identifying the different fixed overhead cost and we just absorbing those costs to the production department. Basically this thing we are doing in absorption costing. Okay, so you can see here the little bit summary here of direct method. Okay, the second method is step down method. Step down method mein you should remember only maybe service department 1 sharing its cost to P1, P2 and S2 also, but service department 2 sharing its fixed overhead cost to P1 and P2, means production department 1 and production department 2. And maybe this is the case also that service department 1 only sharing its fixed overhead cost to production department 1 and production department 2, and service 2 department sharing its fixed overhead cost to production department 1, production department 2, and service department 1. It means step down method में दोनों सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट में से कोई एक डिपार्टमेंट P1 P2 और दूसरे सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट के साथ भी कॉस्ट शेयर कर रहा होगा, जबकि दूसरा सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट पहले वाले के साथ शेयर नहीं करेगा। अगर पहले वाला शेयर कर रहा है S2 के साथ, यानी कि सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट 2 के साथ, तो सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट 2 S1 के साथ नहीं करेगा। अगर S1 शेयर कर रहा है S1 के साथ अपना फिक्स ओवरहेड शेयर, तो इट मींस कि S1 फिर S2 के साथ नहीं करेगा। Basically, this is called step down method. Okay. So why this is happening in step down method? So let me give you an example here. Okay, for example, again, there is assembly department. I will write it in short form. Assembly. This is our P1. Stitching. This is our P2. Production department. In both these department, production is going on. Okay, so S1 is canteen. And S2 is repair. Okay. If I am talking about the step down method, this method in which we just see that S1 department is sharing its fixed overhead cost to P1, P2, and S2, but whereas S2 only sharing its fixed overhead cost to P1 and P2. And maybe the other case happen in which S1 may be sharing its fixed overhead cost to P1 and P2, and S2 basically service department 2 sharing its fixed overhead cost to P1, P2, and S1. Okay, so in both cases, only one case will be will come into your exam. So why it is happening like this? It is because of this. Like in canteen, we know that not only P1 and P2 labor are eating. Maybe the workers, maybe 5 workers, for example, 5 workers working in the repair department, also having lunch in canteen. So what does it mean? It means अगर repair and department के workers canteen से खाना खा रहे हैं, तो it means कि canteen फिर अपनी cost repair maintenance को share करेगा. Okay? और repair maintenance वालों से अगर canteen किसी type की service ले रहा है, for example, if canteen may be using any kind of refrigerator Okay, students, sorry for inconvenience. Actually, yeah, I was saying that why S1 sharing its fixed overhead cost to S2 in our step down method, basically. So it may the cause that देखो कैंटीन डिपार्टमेंट में अगर लंच मिल रहा है तो इट डजेंट मीन कि सिर्फ स्टिचिंग डिपार्टमेंट वाले लेबर या सभी डिपार्टमेंट वाले लेबर ही वहां से लंच करें. रिपेयरमेंट एंड मेंटेनेंस डिपार्टमेंट में जो वर्कर्स काम कर रहे हैं दे ऑल्सो मे बी हैविंग लंच इन दिस कैंटीन. So it means that at the end, canteen will share its fixed overhead cost to the repair and maintenance department like S2 because canteen is also serving a repair and maintenance department along with stitching department and assembly department. So in the same case, like in the same scenario, maybe repair and maintenance department also serving the canteen department. Canteen department, for example, they are using any refrigerator. The refrigerator maybe stop working. So what will they do? So they call the repair and maintenance department. And repair and maintenance department will send a worker to fix the refrigerator problems. So it means that repair department also serving the canteen department. So that is why S2 also sharing its fixed overhead cost to the S1 along with the P2 and P1. ठीक है, वो उसके साथ साथ असेंबली डिपार्टमेंट स्टिचिंग डिपार्टमेंट को भी अपनी शेयर करेगा कॉस्ट, साथ ही साथ वो कैंटीन को भी शेयर करेगा. So this is the case. So this is happening like in the step down method and in the reciprocal method also. Okay, so where is my pointer? Okay, so this is our step down method in which maybe S1 or maybe S2 sharing its fixed overhead cost to the other one, but only one service department will do that. Okay. Okay, so the third one is reciprocal method, which is repeated distribution method. Also, you can see in short RDM. So what is happening in this method actually? Here you can see that S1 also sharing its cost to S2 and S2 also sharing its cost, fixed overhead cost to the S1. So this is the thing. The main difference is that only one service department will share its fixed overhead cost to the other department. But in a reciprocal method, both service departments sharing their fixed overhead cost to the each other. Okay, so how it is happening, it is just as I just gave you an example in this कि कैंटीन डिपार्टमेंट वाले रिपेयर वाले को भी सर्विस दे रहे हैं, रिपेयर वाले कैंटीन वाले को भी सर्विस दे रहे हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाई दे आर शेयरिंग देयर फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड कॉस्ट टू ईच अदर, एंड आफ्टर दैट दे जस्ट ड्रॉप its fixed overhead cost to the production department because mainly they are working for the production department. If production department is not there, it means that service department is also not there. Okay, basically they are disconstructed here in this factory just because of the production department. So that is why production department ko cost share karna important hai, because at the end we want to know that what is our total cost. So because of this, when we have our total cost, so we can divide those that total cost to the units, number of units. So we will get to know that what is the price of one product. So we can charge any price or any you can say the percentage of profit we can impose to that cost, and we can see that what is the profit level we can achieve. Okay, so this is our reapportionment, where all the service department sharing or giving its fixed overhead cost to the production department. Okay, so the last thing is absorption. So you can say absorption, and the second name is overhead absorption rate. Basically, in this thing, we are going to discuss a formula. Overhead absorption rate is equal to budgeted production overheads and budgeted activity levels. Okay, so what is budgeted production overheads? What is it? Let me take you here. Okay, so see, when we have, when we done with our step 3, okay, in this overhead analysis sheet, so the amount which will come is called budgeted production overhead. This is 3000, this is 3000. Okay, so this is our budgeted production overhead. Why it is called budgeted? Because this is forecasted amount. The whole amount you will see in your question, the whole amount which may be direct labor, direct material, which may be depreciation expense, which may be insurance of machinery, all these amount is forecasted. Okay, so this is called our budgeted production overheads. Basically allocations, apportionment, reapportionment, सबको ऐड करोगे तो you will have budgeted production overheads. Simple. Okay, so we have a formula here, budgeted production overheads divided by a budgeted activity level. Okay, so budgeted activity level आपके पास बहुत सारी फॉर्म में हो सकती है. In exam, you will have machine hours as budget activity level, labor hours, a number of units, prime cost, direct cost. So like there are a lot of budgeted activity level, BAL. So what we are gonna do, we just will divide BPOHS, basically budget production overheads, to the budgeted activity level, means BAL. Okay, so I have an example. For example, अगर वो आपको budget activity level में 2000 दे देते हैं machine hours, और for example budgeted production overheads जो हमने ऊपर बनाई है, शीट बनाई है, उसमें आपका आंसर आता है 40,000. Okay, so you just need to divide these 40,000 divided by 2000. We know that answer will be $2. So why I put $2? Basically what it says, $2 per machine hour. It means अगर आपकी मशीन 1 hour काम करती है तो फिक्स ओवरहेड उसका $2 आता है. बेसिकली वी हैव ऑल टाइप ऑफ फिक्स ओवरहेड्स. हमारे पास डेप्रिसिएशन भी है, हमारे पास मशीनरी की डेप्रिसिएशन भी है, हमारे पास इंश्योरेंस ऑफ मशीनरी भी है, ठीक है, हमारे पास जो है वो वेजेस भी हैं, ठीक है, हमारे पास वेजेस हैं, मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल सुपरवाइजर के वेजेस हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल कोई भी फिक्स ओवरहेड्स में कोई भी वेजेस हैं, ठीक है, डायरेक्ट वेजेस को हटा के और किसी भी टाइप के कोई वेजेस हैं, ठीक है, कैंटीन बॉय के वेजेस हो सकते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल रिपेयर एंड मेंटेनेंस डिपार्टमेंट में जो लड़के काम कर रहे हैं उनके वेजेस होते हैं, लाइक देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वेजेस. ओके, सो हमारे पास बहुत सारे फिक्स ओवरहेड्स कैलकुलेट होके आ गए हैं, ठीक है. हमने क्या करना है, हमने बेसिकली यहाँ पे ये देखना है अपनी एक्टिविटी लेवल, बजटेड एक्टिविटी लेवल के हिसाब से, कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल 40,000 हमारे यहाँ पे जो है वो BPOH मीन्स के बजट प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स आ रहे हैं, तो उसमें सब चीजों का कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन है. सिंपल, ठीक है. तो अगर आपका आंसर $2 पर मशीन आ रहा है, इट मीन्स दैट अगर if your machine works for 1 hour, so it means it will contribute $2 in fixed overheads. Simple. Okay, so इसी तरीके से they can give you a lot of budgeted activity level. They could give you direct cost, prime cost, number of units, produce labor hours, machine hours. So you just use this formula. You just need to use this formula and you will have your answer. Okay, one thing I want to tell you, that if they will give you any type of cost, okay, so what you will do, you just multiplied by it 100. As we can see, we have direct material cost here, which is 2000, and budgeted production overheads is 40,000. So our answer is 125%, as you can see, because we just multiplied it by the with the 100. So that is why our answer is 125%. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is this, that जो भी हमारे budgeted overheads हैं, overhead cost है, उसमें 125% जो है वो हमारा DMC है, basically direct material cost है. Simple. Okay, and you can check it. How you can check it? Like if you want to confirm that this answer is wrong or right, you just multiply 2 to the 2000. You will get your answer, which is budgeted production overheads. ठीक है, तो आंसर जो है वो आपका वही आएगा. And you can calculate this thing also by this method, 125%. ओके, सो इन सब का हमें एडवांटेज क्या है? लाइक हम जैसे देख रहे हैं कि हम यहाँ पे फाइंड कर रहे हैं कि हमारी मशीन अगर 1 घंटा चलती है तो वो $2 दे रही है, यानी कि $2 जो है वो उसका फिक्स ओवरहेड आ रहा है. अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा जो डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट है वो 2000 है, तो वो 40,000 का 125% है. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीजें क्यों की जा रही हैं? बेसिकली वी आर डूइंग दिस बिकॉज वी वांट टू नो द यूनिट, द कॉस्ट ऑफ 1 यूनिट, कि 1 यूनिट हमें कितनी कॉस्ट दे रहा है. सो वी कैन ऐड some extra amount in it and we can choose our selling price. Let's say you can see here that, for example, our direct material is $4, our direct labor is $7, which is, we know that it is our direct cost, like prime cost. So we know that if we are going to make a bag, so our direct material, the material which may be used in producing that bag is $4, is equal to $4, and our direct labor, like wages we are giving to that laborers who are making or producing that bag, is $7. So if, for example, I just want to add in this my machine hours, like if my machine is working for 1 hour, so it will give me $2 cost in my fixed overhead. So I will add this in it, $2 as my fixed overhead. So it will give me total cost of $13. It means that cost of produce one bag is $13. और यही एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग बोल रही है. एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग कह रही है कि हमने सिर्फ डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर को नहीं देखना, हमने सिर्फ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को नहीं देखना, हमने फिक्स ओवरहेड्स को भी देखना. ओके, सो दिस थिंग वी आर वी वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, एंड ये चीजें इसके ऊपर हम लोग अब तक काम कर रहे हैं. तो इस तरीके से हमें हर एक यूनिट के बारे में पता चल जाएगा कि फिक्स ओवरहेड्स को मिला के प्लस आपकी जो क्या बोलते हैं डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट है या डायरेक्ट लेबर है, उन सबको मिला के आपकी टोटल कॉस्ट क्या है और जितना भी आपने इसमें प्रॉफिट ऐड करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if I want that, I want to get $5 profit at each bag. For example, हर बैग पे मैंने $5 प्रॉफिट लेना है, तो it means that I will add $13 into $5, $13 which is my total cost, and profit is $5. So it means that my selling price would be $18. तो $18 जो है वो मैं selling price रखूंगी. ओके, सो इस तरीके से आपकी सारी की सारी जो एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग है वो काम कर रही है. ओके, सो आई वांट टू गिव यू a summary of it. Okay, so we have two costing methods. The number one is absorption costing and the number two is marginal costing. Marginal costing says that marginal costing only considered the direct material, direct labor and variable production overheads. मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग ये बोलती है कि जब भी किसी भी एक यूनिट की आपने कॉस्ट फाइंड करनी है तो उसके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ उन्हीं चीजों को उसमें ऐड ऑन होना चाहिए जो कि उसको डायरेक्टली बनाने में लग रहे हैं. एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग जो है वो ये बोलती है कि आपने इसमें जो कॉस्ट आपकी डायरेक्ट लग रही है वो भी आपने ऐड करना है, प्लस आपने इसके अंदर फिक्स प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स भी ऐड करने हैं, और उसके बाद आपके पास टोटल कॉस्ट आएगी प्रोडक्शन की। एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग का मानना ये है कि जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट भी काम कर रहे हैं वो भी तो जाहिर सी बात है प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट को ही सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो दिस इज द मेन डिफरेंस बिटवीन द एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग एंड the marginal costing. So absorption costing is a little bit difficult. Why in our mind? Because we know that it is very easy to identify the direct material, direct labor, and variable production overheads, but it is very difficult to identify the fixed production overheads. Because fixed production overheads is not, you can say that जितने भी fixed production overheads हैं वो directly ट्रेस नहीं किए जा सकते कि एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में कितने फिक्स ओवरहेड्स आ रहे होंगे, so that is why it is little bit difficult. So absorption costing says that there is 4 steps you should know and you should do whenever you want to use absorption costing to know one um, uh, okay, so absorption costing gave us 4 steps. और एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग ने ये जो 4 स्टेप्स दिए हैं बेसिकली ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस चीज के लिए दिए हैं, फिक्स ओवरहेड्स के लिए, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रेस फिक्स प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स to each and every product. So that is why absorption costing gave us 4 steps. The number one is allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and absorption. Allocation means you just send the specific cost to the specific departments. Means the cost which maybe which is occurring in the service department or maybe is occurring in the production department, you just need to send all those costs to the respective departments like this. Direct material and direct labor, because we know that how much workers working in the P1, P2, S1 and S2, and we know that how many or how you can say that how much amount of material and what type of material is using by P1, P2, S1 and S2. So it is very easy. So we just allocate these costs to the respective departments. Okay. So in apportionment, what we are doing, we have like some common cost. We have some common cost. We have some common cost, and all these common costs should be spread between the departments on the fair basis. Like there are depreciation, there is employment related cost, for example canteen, supervision, medical, welfare cost. So there are a lot of cost. अगर आपने मेरे पहले से नहीं देखे हैं तो आपको बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आएगी मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ, ठीक है। तो ये सारी टाइप ऑफ कॉस्ट है हमारे पास, और हमारे पास कुछ फेयर बेसिस हैं और हम उसके हिसाब से सब में उसको सारे डिपार्टमेंट में उसको डिवाइड कर देंगे, ठीक है। इसके बाद जो है वो हमारे पास है स्टेप 3 विच इज रीअपोर्शनमेंट। रीअपोर्शनमेंट में क्या करना है, all service department in this step, all service department sharing its cost to the other production departments, and we have 3 methods for it. The number 1 is direct method, the number 2 is step down, and the number 3 is reciprocal. And after that we will get our budgeted production overhead, and we will do our final step which is absorption. And I already told you about this, what is absorption and how can we do this. So I think maybe you guys are clear now, but if you have any query related to this chapter you can ask, and after that we will discuss some overhead and underhead absorption concept, and after that we will solve some maybe question from this topic from the past paper. Okay, so students, goodbye, Allah Hafiz.